So you turn and you see, as soon as the voice speaks, you see a woman. Her body is half covered, half in the water, and the other half perched up on a rock. And she's smiling at you as she watches you all converse. And she tilts her head slightly. She looks human, although covered, completely drenched in water and completely wet. And she has a very innocent smile and look to her as she smiles at you all and awaits your response.
I know I'm new, but maybe we should say hi?
Hi! She waves at you as you say that.
I'm going to very slowly get my bow in my hand.
I call Jeffrey.
Hello, my dear.
I dash behind Ari. With a squeak.
Oh my, you guys are a bit jumpy, huh? I promise not to hurt you. I heard your friend telling his story and I just couldn't help myself.
I do understand. I'm Eri. Erethea's Dayspell, by the way. Who are you?
Hi, Ari. My name is Cordelia.
Why are you in the water?
Oh, I live here. This is my home.
In the water?
Mm-hmm. You could call me sort of like a guardian of this place. I'm what you would call a water nymph.
Winter nods slowly. Okay.
I want to roll arcane lore.
Go ahead.
Do I know
Yeah, can I do that
what
too?
that is and if that's a real thing and all that?
Yeah, go ahead.
And can Winter roll cultural lore?
Sure.
Can I see if there's any mention of nymphs in his story?
Okay.
Lore?
3 people can roll, not everyone. So we have Binda, Harmony, and who? Third. So pick who the third one is.
Oh, we only get 3 people. Oh my goodness. Stop wasting all the good rolls on lore checks.
Wow, okay.
Vinda, your arcane knowledge doesn't really go into... you have some knowledge of magical creatures. You feel like you've heard the name before, but you're not entirely certain. Curiosity, once again, looking into your historical knowledge in your books, you have heard of nymphs. They are creatures of the elements, created by each of the guardians as they're sort of like not quite, you wouldn't quite call them pets, but they're sort of in that similar murky area where they're sort of like they're put in different places and given specific tasks. They're not entirely what you would call like a sentient race like yourself, but from what you know, they're normally friendly. And they normally are very powerful, and if they claim a place as their own, they will protect it with all that they have.
Oh, a water nymph. So you are loyal to Iana Aquanian?
Ayana, yes. She created me, using the elements of this place.
I've never met a water nymph before.
I've never met an angel before, so I guess it's first times for everyone.
I'm actually a gloamling.
What is that? She frowns a little confused.
A winged race of people, of which I am one.
We're trying to.
Silly, you're just describing an angel. You're
Oh.
very dark to be an angel.
Yeah, we live underground.
I live under the water.
So you just sit here all day?
Yes, she looks a little sad. It's pretty lonely. I just have the water and the few creatures that come through here. Once in a very, very long time, I'll get travelers, and most of them get frightened of me, so I just listen, and I wait. And I keep them safe so long as they keep my oasis safe.
Well then, we will do our best to try to make sure your oasis is safe.
Don't worry, we will take good care of it. Also, I am a follower of Aquanian Arcana.
I know. I could sense it when I looked upon you. It pleases me greatly to see another of the Guardian's disciples here. I haven't seen one in a very long time, not since I was first created.
And when was that?
Oh, I don't know. The sun has come down and up so many times. I don't really track time the way you do. But I know it's been a very, very long time.
But you've never seen a gloamling before.
She shakes her head. I only see the creatures that live here. And she looks at Eretheus. Most of them look like him.
Well, thank you for letting us stay here at this oasis.
Of course. That's why it's here.
Cordelia, has anyone else stopped by here recently? Maybe in the last week or so?
Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stop by? Just the treekin. But I don't think anyone else has.
Okay. I was just, we were tracking somebody who didn't do some very nice things in Zagahta. Just wondering maybe if they stopped here.
Story.
We didn't hear anything he said.
Yeah, now we missed you because you just said story and that was it.
Zeri said, messaged me, and she said that she asked Harmony to tell her the story.
A story about what?
The person
The
we're looking
person
for?
we're looking for.
Oh.
Well, we came to Zagahta, and we had found that the mayor had been killed. We tracked down the person responsible, a woman named Lilora. And well,
I'm back.
we found out that that she was most likely a succubus, so demon that can appear as women. And she'd been working to uncover some ancient Shadow of Soul relics near the town using Troglodytes. But she had vanished before we had tracked her down.
Chocolate.
Say something besides troglodyte. Okay. Serva, let her know. Oh, I feel sorry for you, Zeri.
Robo GMing is so much fun, though.
Except when it completely cuts you off.
I'm gonna assume she was asking Troglodytes in a question manner, like she didn't know what they were. So, like, little reptilian.
Apple.
Oh, you back?
Hello.
Oh, okay, you're back now.
Troglodytes. They're cute little creatures. A bit simple, but their hearts are usually in the right place.
Yeah, these ones were scared of this Lilora and some other creature they were working for. They were also stealing a bunch of lemons, which is how we found them in the first place.
That's silly.
Not as silly as Olaf holding lemons hostage to get them to leave the area around Zagahta.
At this point, you see Olaf shake his head and go,
It worked very well.
yeah. If we're done telling stories, I'm getting to bed. Gorm? Hey, Gorm. Oh, kind of looks around for you.
He doesn't find me.
He's probably tracking. Anyway, I'm heading up to bed. And he pulls out his stuff and he kind of curls up next to the fire and starts drifting off to sleep.
It is probably best that we all get some sleep soon. We still have a long day ahead of us tomorrow, and we have a long journey back to Zagahta.
Oh, well, I guess. But maybe one of you could stay up and talk? I don't get to talk to people very much, and, well, it gets lonely here. I promise that if you stay awake with me and talk all night, I'll make it worth your while.
All right, I will make sure. I will stay up.
Well, yeah, we should probably keep someone up. Just keep watch anyway.
If nothing else, then I have a few songs I could go over. I don't know much about anything that you would enjoy, but I do know a few things.
Her face completely lights up when you mention music. She says, I've only heard of some music. Ayana sometimes sings, but I would love to hear anything from your home. Please, if you teach me some new songs, perhaps I could sing it to my little fairy creatures.
As you wish. I shall do what I can.
At this point, Bramble goes around just looking for roots or plants that he might be familiar with to pick, put in his pouch before going to bed.
Okay. Do you have natural lore?
No.
Okay, just roll an intelligence check.
As they're talking, Winter curls down and just goes straight to sleep.
I'll walk up to Aerie. I believe this belongs to you, although I'm actually pretty glad that I had it and you didn't when you were all possessed or whatever. And I'll hand you the box that has the die back in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
17.
Oh, yes, thank you. I completely forgot about that. Thank you, yes. There's no telling what would have happened if I had been under the effects of that spell or whatever it was. If I had this as well, it would have been interesting, shall we say.
Yeah, I wish we could have figured out more about it from... I gave it to you.
I understand. The future will reveal its secrets in time, but until then, it's probably best that this is not rolled ever for a long time.
Yeah, just make sure to keep Vinda away from it. I think it's a little tempting.
In the pouts.
Oh, Vinda, if you want to take a look at something else. I don't know, maybe if you've seen something like this. I haven't. It was the thing that the djinn had. He pulls out a stone. It when I touched it, I saw a vision. There's like a message, kind of. He talked to me, but he was dead. So it was something stored in the stone. I don't know.
Flies up and pokes the thing.
Yeah, I already tried having curiosity touch it. Nothing happened.
Arcane lore.
Sure. It's definitely an unusual looking gem. You've never seen anything quite like it. Oddly enough, though, you don't really see anything magical about it.
Could that just mean that its magic is spent? Or what?
You don't know. It could mean that.
There's no magic in it now that I can tell.
Well, I guess I should verbally deliver the message that it was supposed to give then. Well, thanks for taking a look at it.
Do you take the gem back?
Yeah.
You take the gem back, and the message repeats in your head.
Blink. Are you sure there's no magic in this? Because I just saw it again.
Very.
Nothing's changed as far as you're concerned. I mean, Harmony blinked out for a couple seconds, but not the same.
I want to examine him magically. Is there something going on with him rather than so much with the stone?
Go ahead and roll an arcane lore. While you were looking at him, and he was touching the stone, for the few seconds he blanked out, you did see something that you've never seen before start in him. But then as soon as his senses returned, it went away just as quickly as it came.
Okay. I will try to explain that to him.
Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense. But maybe Tila will have more helpful analysis of this, because there's something going on. Because I had that other vision beforehand, and then I was seeing everything in the cave system differently. When everyone was seeing the pool as this mesmerizing light, I just saw it as the black tar it always was. Something's going on.
Okay.
Anyway, well, I guess I gotta try to sleep now. Turn to Curiosity. Hey, Curiosity. Sparring time.
Sparring time, but I'm tired.
And I don't think goblins or creatures of shadow soul magic are going to wait for you to be well rested, are they? I'm the one who almost died.
Fine.
Don't worry. Just a little bit.
All right. So you guys spar until you eventually spar into the night until eventually you decide to take your rest. The rest of you all take your rest in different ways. Ari, you begin playing music, teaching songs to the nymph, and eventually she learns them so quickly you run out of songs to play for her, and so eventually you begin telling stories. And to your surprise, the time actually goes by rather quickly. And you find yourself very much enjoying the time you're spending talking to this nymph who's very curious and does more listening than she does actually talking. You actually found out very little beyond what she told you about herself at the very beginning of the conversation.
Please tell me you didn't just cut off.
I'm pretty sure she just cut off.
Yep. Yeah, just dropped in.
Gorm offered.
Yeah, I brush my teeth and everything at least once a week, whether they need it or not.
We lost you, Zeri. You still missing, Zeri?
Hello, hello.
There
Hello.
we go.
There you are.
Hello.
What did you hear?
About the end of it was I taught her and she listened a lot, and that's about it.
Yeah, she was listening more than talking.
She listens more than she talks, and then you find the time passing very quickly and in a very enjoyable way. At about halfway point, Gorm comes up and he offers to take your place. But you're enjoying your time, and you don't feel tired at all. And so you tell him that you'll continue and that he can go off to sleep. So the way that this works is you spend the entire night speaking with her, teaching her things. She tells you a little bit here or there about her oasis, the time she spent, but again, very little. And then you'll suffer a point of exhaustion for the next until you take a long rest.
Under the spell of the wood nymph.
But then, at the end, just as sort of your more early morning rising friends start to wake up, she smiles as you tell the last of your story, and she says, "Wow, it sounds like you've had a very interesting life, Erithas."
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Well, I thank you for staying up so late with me. I know that it's difficult for your people to not get your rest, so I feel it's only fitting that I give you a reward for your endurance. And you see, she, with a quick smile and a shake of her head, she quickly dives into her pool. doesn't come up for quite a while. Enough time where your party begins to arouse and they can see you still sitting by the pool, looking in it, waiting. And as she's left, and it's been probably like 10 minutes, you're starting to feel the exhaustion you curiously didn't feel while speaking with her. The first to wake up can converse.
Sounds like Erethias is boring to everybody. Roar! Who's first to wake up and wants to talk with Eri, or no?
Yeah, I'll probably would wake up fairly early. / Gorm would probably be the other option, but I don't think Gorm would talk to you. Harry, how are you doing? Still awake?
Yeah, somewhat. I managed to make it through the night, but it's hit me a lot harder than I thought it would.
Have you ever been to Autumn Dream?
Not to my knowledge. At least not recently, anyways. I don't recall that particular place.
Well, I think it's on the Oasis side of the river, but I was hoping maybe you had been there. But that stone that I had been to look at last night, well, the message in it asked me to deliver it to someone in Autumn Dream.
Interesting. Alright. I suppose we should head that way eventually. Anyways, it's probably where the caravan will be heading next. I believe Autumn Dream is still on the trade routes, I think. And Eri is kind of nodding his head a little bit.
And just as you feel yourself falling asleep, the nymph returns, but she comes up from the water, hands first, and you see in her hand is a small purple orb. And she rises from the water soundlessly, and she places the orb in between your crossed legs. And she says, "This will help you in your travels. You can go ahead and check your inventory."
Erethias will bow as deeply as he can without falling into the water, since he's in a seated position. Thank you. Thank you, my lady. I'm glad to at least eased your time here.
I'm wondering if this bowing disturbs the fairy on your shoulder.
Are you on?
Yeah, Aries kind of in a situation where he doesn't realize you're on his shoulder, so.
At this point, Jeffrey comes over and nozzles Bramble awake.
What? I'm awake. What? Eri?
Mother? Oh, sorry. I was still dreaming. Hello, all.
Good morning.
Oh, what's that thing? I was looking at the thing. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Such a pretty thing.
Yes, it is.
Arcane lore?
Ari, as they begin asking, the nymph reaches up and she touches your forehead and she closes her eyes, and for a second you close yours, and then she pulls her hand away and you reawaken, and suddenly you know exactly what this device does. By that I mean you can read the card now.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
The rest of you watch as she touches him, and then she slips back into the water, and she looks at the rest of you. Good morning, everyone. I hope you slept peacefully.
Yes, it was quite peaceful.
Winter is still asleep.
Yes, and thank you. This truly is an enchanted place.
Thank you. My guardian makes sure that it is. You are quite a curious individual. You look like a plant, but you walk like one of them. How is that?
Well, that is a story about my mother and father.
Really? Will you tell it?
I will tell what I know.
She settles into the water as though she's prepared for a long bedtime story.
Sorry, hang on one second, guys. My computer just froze. I'm back. Well, here's what I can tell you. It's short and succinct, but my father is a treekin, and my mother is a hale. My father owns a healer shop. This is where I learned the art of bargaining and healing. And my father wants me to take over that shop. He also wants me to follow in his footsteps and explore the world and have adventures and gain a name for myself. My father's advice was to let others fight and stay in the shadows. But I don't think I agree. I thrive to explore the world and have adventures. My father has given me 16 seasons to get the adventure bug out of my system, and then he has told me to come home and take over the business. I've been gone for 3 seasons. I'm not sure if I want to return. My mother has given me a ring, but I do not know what that is, what I shall do with that or what I'm supposed to. However, she tells me at the time when it is right, I will know. I'm not sure what that means. And that is the story that I know of my parents. I do not know very much about my grandparents, though. And I do have sisters and brothers, but they have left long ago, before me, and never returned. I do not know if they're dead or alive.
Oh, that sounds a bit more sad.
I try not to think of it too much.
I think I have sisters, but I've never met them before. Maybe one day you'll find your friends, your siblings, and maybe you'll get to do adventures together.
That would be nice. Maybe you'll meet your sisters. Families are a good thing, I think.
I suppose I've only... Well, actually, I don't think I've met any families. I've heard people mention them, but that's all. Well, unless you count, like, I don't know, scorpion families or tiny desert squirrel families. I've seen plenty of those, but nothing more than that.
Well, Gorm and Olaf are brothers. So now you've met part of a family.
Oh, brothers? Is that fun? Olaf shakes his head. Are we gonna leave soon?
My brothers picked at me. My sisters were nice to me, though. But I digress.
That's a funny word. It sounds like grass. Those of you who are standing around, you can hear Farmer Dontwist, who hasn't really said much, mostly just been keeping to his camels and sleeping. You can see him now prepping the rest of them, prepping the cart and the sled ready to leave. And he looks at you all. Well, we should probably head out. Early in the morning is going to be a lot easier traveling without the heat coming down on us.
Yeah, do you need a hand?
Actually, I could. Yes. Make sure that they get water.
Yeah, that should be easy enough. I'll go over to help him.
Right.
Should we wake Winter?
Who's Winter?
That would be the young lady right there. And Ari will point towards where Winter is lying. She's had a bit of a rough patch. Let her sleep in just a little bit more.
Yes, I think we should let her sleep until after we're just ready to leave.
The nymph frowns and kind of tilts her head up and down. She doesn't look like Winter. Winter is cold, and it's not very inviting. She seems very warm and very inviting.
Oh,
She doesn't look like a storm either.
That is the name her parents gave her. It's much like my name, Arethes. It's a title that we go by. And I have this feeling that were she to do so, she could probably unleash something that would be akin to a storm, at least.
Oh, that is certain. There's lots of powerful magic in her, but she hasn't quite figured out how to use it yet. But it is strange. I mean, your name is Curiosity, and you're very curious. And his name is Harmony, and he is very harmonious. But
You
hers
haven't
doesn't
seen
seem
me
to
in a
quite
fight.
fit.
Whose?
She looks at Harmony, and she gives you a little bit of a knowing grin, but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, as I'm feeding the camels, I just yell over there. They can hear it. It's like, yeah, well, if we're in this region again, I think we'll have to stop by.
Oh yes, it should be easier to find it. Once you've been to this place, you never forget it.
I want to ask the farmer, have you ever been here before?
How do you think I knew how to come here, son?
Harmony just smiles.
Came here once. She saved me from dying of lack of water, dehydration. Found this place, and she wanted me to stay. I nearly stayed for a week, but eventually I had to get going. But I've always been able to stop by this place every time I've traveled between Zagahta and home.
Oh, quite understandable. I do believe coming here regularly would be a good thing.
Yeah, she's generally a good soul. A little creepy at times, but, you know, she hasn't tried to... She seems to be keeping her promise to keep them safe. Make sure the camels always have water, and she doesn't have a problem with me refilling the canteen.
So we're headed out.
Vinda, are you awake yet? Vinda?
She got woken up by falling off his shoulder, remember?
I know. The player does.
She was also commenting on the purple gem thing.
And I never got an answer about that. In or out of character.
It's a nice purple orb. Bigger than you. Or at least very big. Probably.
Yeah, I'm kind of imagining that she's been creeping closer and closer, trying to go up and poke the thing.
Here you go, Vinda. If you wish to poke it, go for it. So long as I have it in my hand, it won't use any of the charges. It will aid us greatly in the travels to come. Thank you again, Cordelia. I am very grateful to have this.
Is it something that I might know what it is, or...
You can roll an Arcana check.
Arcane lore, or do you mean Arcana 8?
Arcane lore. You can tell it's a magical device that relates magic. Beyond that, you don't really know.
What is it? What does it do?
Well, my dear Vinda, it's basically a portable camp. It will help us when we need, like a small camp to stay and to rest. AKA out of character, it does this. When the crystal is, the small crystal is planted firmly on the ground, an activate action is used to invoke the magic. It provides the following benefits. The crystal glows, providing light and warmth equivalent to a campfire. Although the crystal is safe to the touch, it does not burn. It creates an invisible dome about 10 feet high at the center, and in feet, I'm guessing 10 feet in radius, around surrounds the crystal. It keeps out precipitation, wind, and small insects and other vermin. The dome also makes light from the crystal invisible, so that those standing outside of it cannot see in, I'm guessing, and provides shade to those within. It also pulses for 5 seconds when any creature larger than a cat comes within 50 feet of the dome. It has its own warning system, so cool. Can be activated up to 30 times for up to 8 hours before its magic is exhausted. It bears a magical enchantment on it, thanks to something, and that's about as far as I could read.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to fix it. I'm just going to have to fix it later. The part that's missing, because I realized what I did wrong, I'll just tell you what the last part is. Lastly, the light of the crystal takes to... However, this tent bears a magical enchantment thanks to Cordelia, and has an infinite amount of charges. The arcane tent can be dismissed back to the crystal with an activate action. So this crystal would normally have about 30 charges that you'd have to, and once you expended it, then it would be over. And you know this because it's special and it was given to you by the nymph Cordelia. It actually got an infinite amount of charges.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I was thinking like 30 times a day or something, but... Basically, we get a small little campfire we can take around with us. It's magical, so...
And it has a shield.
A small shield. Not hugely defensive, but it will keep out annoyances and whatnot. Make sure that we have a peaceful rest. Things like rain, small insects, rats probably couldn't get in unless they are of the ROUSs.
I don't believe in RUASs.
It is a 10-foot radius around, so it can be a little tight. So you kind of have to like get close to it for all of you since there are many of you to get the benefits. But yeah, essentially it's a magical tent that it's very easy to travel. The actual crystal, it's like a crystal ball that he carries. It's like 5 pounds. It's not very heavy, and it is bigger than Vinda, but it is easily stored.
So everybody can fit in that radius.
It's a little snug, but yes.
Gotcha.
And the warning if there's anything that comes too near, that's cool.
Any creature larger than a cat. But yes, that is essentially what it does. From Aretheus' point of view, y'all probably got the Cliff Notes version of it. Since magic is not his forte, he would have explained it more as a tent that's a magical tent that would provide protection and or small protection and allow us to have a little bit of light and some guarded light at that.
Thank you for the gifts, Cordelia. This seems quite nice.
You're welcome. Something tells me that you're all going to need this very soon.
Branwell bows to Cordelia.
She, to your surprise, bows back.
I shall see if I cannot find some more songs to teach you.
I hope so. I hope I will see you all again. You hear Olaf say, "We're gonna go now? We're all packed and ready."
Alright, sounds like it's time to go. Winter, wake up, my dear. It's time to leave.
Winter rubs her eyes and looks around. Already?
Yes, it's came quickly, but it is time to go. We've got to get back to Zagahta.
She nods and gets up.
Goodbye, Winter. It was nice knowing you.
Winter turns and looks over. Oh, yes, and you too.
Remember, you have more power than you realize. And she smiles at the rest of you. And then as mysteriously as she appeared, she falls back soundlessly into the water, and you see nothing.
Well, so Bramble, are you riding Jeffrey, or are you riding with us?
I will ride on Jeffrey.
Okay.
And I take one look backwards, and I have a little sadness in my heart, but I'm ready to move forward.
Hey, they've got lemon trees in Zagahta. A lot of them.
Oh yes.
Everything's got lemon in it.
Yes. Aries gonna find a small little spot in the cart and see if he can't close his eyes and sleep.
All right. So, once again, you begin your travels towards Zagahta. You're all feeling a little more rested than you have in a long time, save for, of course, Eretheus, who is exhausted. And now that you've left the comfort of the oasis, it has hit you so hard, you basically fall asleep as soon as you leave the area. But for the rest of you, the journey is pretty relaxed. It's been a while since you've been on the road, but now you're feeling a little bit more confident. You have a couple scorpions in the back of your wagon. You've made a new friend. And, well, everything just seems to be looking up. You guys can have conversations as you will in the middle of in your travels. But you travel for another full day and into a night. And then get up and travel for another day and come to another night. In the second night, if you'd like, Eretheus, you can go ahead and test your new arcane tint.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, I'll set it down in a nice little spot that would act kind of nice as like a central portion, part of the camp and whatnot, and just use a major action to activate it, or whatever it was, minor action. I turns it on, basically.
I think Vince is gonna hop in and out of the range of the thing a little while to watch as the light goes invisible as she leaves. Gets probably a bit more of a kick out of that than it really deserves, but
Winter looks around at the tent, kind of surprised since it's her first time realizing you even had this.
did I get disconnected again?
No, it sounds like you're here. It's very
I mean, yes.
Winter looks at Aerie. Oh, where did this come from, Aerie?
This came from Cordelia, our friend that we met back at the Oasis.
She nods. This is really interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Ah, neither have I. It is quite interesting as well. It's got quite the bit of... Vinda, will you stop?
What?
Every time you do that, you also trigger the alarm. Please.
Out of character, how would she trigger the alarm if she's smaller than...
It's the size of a cat.
What?
It would
Is she
be
the size of a cat? I thought it would...
Depending on the size of the cat. Yeah.
Speaking of cat,
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, speaking of cat, I forgot to mention to Bramwell that I have a cat named Rafi.
and where is he at it?
He's sleeping on the wagon.
Where has he been through all the adventure stuff?
He was on
Was
Kira's
he was-
shoulders.
Yeah, he
In the
was
cave?
with us in the cave because remember I was petting him for emotional comfort while I was disintegrating the skeletons.
I'm sorry, skeletons. Let me pet my cat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and as we're traveling throughout the day, you probably eventually notice that there's one extra person in the party that you have yet to see. It's just a 7-foot tall man carrying a bow and a dagger at his hip, covered in cloth from head to toe.
Yeah. By the way, Bramble, that's Gorm. You get kind of used to it.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, he's a hunter. He usually goes out ahead of us to scout.
This is a good
Yes.
thing.
You can see a bow that's a little bit taller than him, i.e. a little bit longer than 7 feet.
I like bows.
So Bramble, you're just kind of wandering the continent.
For right now, just trying to have some adventures, and I got lost. So I am glad that you all have found me. And I'm hoping, and like I said, I have 10 more seasons before my father expects me back. But I'm not sure. I just don't know.
Well then, adventure you shall have. We are finishing up one right now, and we'll be glad to take you on another. Assuming we don't get pulled along into another adventure as soon as we get back to town.
I welcome the journey with you all. As long as Jeffrey can come along too, and as well, he will protect you as he protects me.
I see no reason why he should not be allowed. I would welcome more company.
I appreciate that. Some people look at him and they're afraid.
Oh, we've seen things a lot scarier. Right now, I'm more scared of gelatin, I think.
Yeah.
Would
I'm
Brent
glad
have
I
that?
missed most of that, although maybe it would have gone better if I had been there.
We were in Zagahta. We found in a basement. We found a gelatinous monster of some sort that attacked us. That was the closest to death we've come.
Oh my. Is anybody chronicling your adventures? I would love to be able to write them down, but I don't have a book or a quill, so they're just in my head.
As far as chronicling them, no, I don't think so. I am taking notes as I can. Not very detailed, but enough to pick up a few things here or there. Uh, Mostly related to our adventures, as it were, but nothing too important or detailed, so as to make things a little easier for people to understand. Makes it easier to sing to people as well. That way they don't look at you with eyes of, no, you didn't catch a fish that big. It could not have been. With music, they are more inclined to accept it and probably toss a few coins towards me.
I see. Excellent, my friend. And you do have quite an excellent voice. It helped me soothe me to sleep.
Thank you, thank you. I've spent a little bit of time trying to make sure I was at least half good at it.
Curiosity also digs through his pack and pulls out what appears to be like a slab of rocks, like it's two like thin shale rocks, like that's wrapped in a cord. And I just say, yes, it is my dream one day to have some books, but for now this is all I can afford. And I like undo the cord and open up the rocks, and there's like a couple pieces of like paper in there.
Do you happen to know how much it costs for a book? It's been a while since I've investigated the prices. That and the library at the school I was at was a library. I could come and go as I pleased.
I believe a book with, might be leather, I don't remember, but 50 sheets I think was 10 gold. Sigh, I do not have that much.
It all makes sense that they're expensive here. There's no trees.
Wait, do you sigh or do you say sigh?
I physically emote sigh.
Okay. I was just curious.
That would be an awesome character idea where they just say everything that instead of like doing it. Like they just say laugh instead of actually laughing.
I feel like a robot, like that was built by the
That would be awesome. That's my next character.
Khajiit takes offense at this. He will make note of it later.
Like he just stares deadpan and just says face palm and just stands there.
That would be awesome.
Khajiit will stare at you now, and the palm will smack the face a few times.
Well, not to change the subject to a less lighthearted topic. Have you been in any fights before?
Oh, I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
Yes. Yeah. We've been in some dangerous situations, so I just want to know how capable you are, or if you're not experienced, so that I can better protect you if you need it.
Thus far, just the mage. And I had to be honest, if it weren't for his spell backfiring, I might have not survived. Of course, Jeffrey did do the charge first.
Well, if you'd like, I spar with Curiosity every night. You're welcome to join us.
That would be fun. Thank you.
He's a very good teacher.
Yeah, then maybe you'll be able to win sometimes, Curiosity.
What about that one time on the roof of the inn?
It was a joke. You obviously win sometimes. But it's because I let you win. You know, I was just like a smirk on my face.
Curiosity looks sad.
See that? No, that water trick actually got me pretty good.
as you all settle in for your second night, Harmony, I assume you take Bramble and Curiosity to do some training.
Yep.
Right. As the rest of you come to sleep, Harmony, you begin teaching Curiosity and Bramble, and to your surprise, Bramble does know a thing or two. He seems to hold his own, although he's not as skilled as perhaps you are. He does seem to handle his bow staff quite well. It is while you're training, you notice the wind all of a sudden just pick up unexpectedly. And you feel it rushing over. That wasn't me, right?
Nope. No, that was Spectus, it looks like.
That sound has got me paranoid.
You're right. Who did we lose?
I know, right?
The wind is picking up, and you hear like a sound, like almost like it sounds like a ripping of cloth, but it's coming from all around you. And you look up, and you can see something in the sky opening up above you.
What is that something?
Sort of wish I had mentioned my plans before this happened, but
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Black square. What?
and I can see everything as before.
That's okay.
I can see nothing.
That's okay. You don't want to see anything.
I don't think you want to see what's happening.
Be happy you're blind.
Yeah.
You're inside. You're inside the necklace, so you're just not paying attention.
No, I'm
I was
not.
healing over a long rest work because I forgot to give myself have my health back after we slept last night.
Initiative is your dexterity, right?
Yep, just roll dex.
I got an 11.
Plus your bonus, you have a 13.
13, yeah, correct.
You get 10 plus your constitution plus your level for health.
Now I want the one that Zariana rolled for me.
Well, she uses like a d20 on that, I think.
It's not quite right.
Do I need a roll for Jeffrey too?
Yes.
Does he get my +2?
Who's Clive?
It was supposed to be Jeffrey. I switched it.
No, he has his own stats.
Okay. So he got a 8 plus whatever.
Okay, go ahead and add that to the turn order. You should be able to edit those numbers.
Okay, looking at Clive's image, I see why some people are scared of him. He looks very vicious.
It's actually Jeffrey. I changed it, but I don't know why it shows up in there differently.
Because I didn't know about it till later.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to tell you.
It's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll change it later.
I said I had a 13, I think. Right? There we go.
Alright, everyone. Prepared for the night's event.
Nope, not prepared.
And apparently, Olav is the first one up. Alright, so, immediately, you see this ripping sound, and you see these things, these purple blackish things opening up in the sky above you. And you look down and quickly you see Olaf immediately rolls over, picks up his sword and shield, and he starts heading over towards danger. As soon as I figure out what his speed is.
2 million.
Knowing John, probably.
Should be at least 8 squares, if not less. Like, just a little bit less.
Okay, so he moves there. He's got his sword and shield out, so he can't do anything for now. Binda, you're up.
I need to figure out what spells I would have activated.